Hey, Mike, after that double play, you guys turn there with McFarland on the mound. You take a moment to notice how your entire team is in the infield, and can I write the heck out of how poetic that is?
You can write the heck out of it for sure because it's accurate. Everybody's looking to make a play. Me and Mad Dog were just talking about it, and he said it's nice to have ball players on the infield. Guys with high-level instincts, and that's what we have, a bunch of ball players. The thing that, to add to your story a little, that you may or may not have noticed prior to the play, because anticipation is a big part of this. So Eddie goes over to Goldie and and notices that he's on contact at third. So because we know in that situation, that's obviously a big run at third. Not that Goldie would have done anything differently, I don't think, because he made a nice instinctual play because he realized the speed of the runner, not a double play ball traditionally. So he just wants to cut that run down to keep it with the 1-run lead. But Eddie, prior to that, had said, hey, man, he's on contact. So it was a good observation prior to that. And then the play unfolded. Goldie makes a nice read, makes a throw to Yachty. Nolan did a really good job of coming and cutting the distance down. Wanted to establish where the runner was, catches tags, and uses his baseball instinct to know he's going to turn and make a play. And then I've watched the replay of it, and to your point, Derek, it was just a conversion of people being somewhere, including the outfielders. And so Nolan makes a nice play to get it to Eddie. Eddie makes a really nice play to see the field. What I loved about it is everybody's under control. Everybody's under control and aware of what was going on. Eddie looks up, gets it back over to third, and then next thing you know, we got a Harrison Bader sighting in the rundown. And he's right where he's supposed to be and gives it up, and we get the out, and that's a huge play.
Do you think that's become kind of a defining part of this stretch, is people knowing, players knowing the moment and place for them to contribute?
I don't think I think it's taken place all year. I think it gets magnified sometimes, but it's always been in play with this group. It's a high baseball IQ group.
Eva, the conversation with Lester on the mound, what did he say to you to allow you to have him stay out there to make that pitch?
He was very adamant that he was okay, and this is a guy that's been in this league a long time. And he said, I can finish this hitter. I said, are we finishing this hitter because we want to compete, which I know he does, and I'm paraphrasing here, but or does it make sense to, let somebody else come in? He goes, I can finish the hitter. I said, you've gone through this before? He goes, listen, I got it. I'm going to finish this hitter. I'll be fine. And, you trust a guy, like I said, he's like a modern day John Wayne for me, just a true grit, strong, silent type. And, you trust players. Always err on the side of caution. Did that with Jack yesterday. Jack was fine, but erred on the side of caution with not pushing him. I've always taken player health very seriously and will err on the side of caution there. But I got a veteran guy telling me he can finish this hitter. He did it, and I got a lot of respect for John, and I know he was honest with me. Also got a lot of respect for the fact that, we were thin today, and he went out there and battled his tail off. I mean, this game was about guts and cojones, and there's a lot of guys that had them on this club and are on display today, and including Lester, and also got to give a lot of love and respect to McFarland. You talk about some serious guts. This guy goes out as a clean, quick seventh, but he's going on 3 days, said he's good, and went out and made a good pitch, triple down the line, and then he just bore down and got it done, and that guy was on fumes, but said he could go. So I just can't have enough respect for McFarland. He's an example for everything that's good about this team and how these guys are competing.
Ben Fredrickson, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Mike, we've asked you a ton of questions over the course of the season about the lineup and different levels of production. During this stretch, you guys are averaging above 290 with above 540 slug. You got 29 homers in this 15-game stretch. Harrison described it as everybody staying in the pocket, which I think is a football reference. But I'm curious, what are you seeing from the lineup, and what do you think has unlocked this? It's not a small sample size run here, and I know it's not just limited to the 15 games, but.
No, I understand Harry's metaphor. I think is right. I mean, you talk about a group of guys that are all just competing. This group's just in compete mode, and they're in a good spot as far as how they're. I mean, preparation's always been good. They know what they're doing. They're just looking to execute situations. They're just playing baseball. You know, they're just going up there and taking good at bats. They're not overthinking anything. They're just good playing. They know what they're looking for. They're smart players, I alluded to, in every aspect of the game. And these guys are looking to just take good quality at bats based on the situation, and they did it again today. And Harrison was a great example of it. You know, tremendous at bats, not trying to do too much, just putting a good swing on the baseball. And all those guys did a great job today. You know, if you look at Harris today, drives one out the other way, ball down the left field line, ball through the middle. Just a tremendous job using the whole field. You know, Paulie, same thing, big homer in the ninth to add on. But Harrison also put on a little one-man show in the top of the ninth as well to get that thing going. You know, he gets on, hustle double. I mean, right out of the box, is busting it. Has a great slide there. Doesn't waste any time. Takes advantage of the opportunity. Takes third. Reads the ball and gets back and pulls an absolute matrix slide out. I don't know how he did that. It kind of hurt me a little bit trying to even think about doing it. But what a slide! And but that's long answer to your question, Ben. But ultimately, it's a group that just getting after it, taking good at bats, and playing hard-nosed baseball.
How happy are you for Paul DeYoung and what he's been able to do? I mean, thrust back in there with Sosa down, and it looks like he's kind of been refreshed.
Happy, proud. Mentioned yesterday, worth repeating. Tough spot, could easily checked out. Didn't, for the benefit of himself, but also the benefit of his team. Knew he was going to be counted on, mentally, physically. Stayed ready, kept working. Knew his chance would come, and was ready when the opportunity presented itself. He's a good player. Paulie's a good player, So let's. But he's kept himself available mentally and physically, and shown up big the last 2 days.
Katie Wu, The Athletic.
Over the course of this winning streak, you've spoken a lot about how this team has been reliant on every facet of the game and every player. But is there any sense of symbolism that you can appreciate that the historic win, number 15, came on something you guys have done consistently all year, which was stellar smart defense?
Yeah, you know what? It all works together. It all works in concert. That's the reason we do everything that we do, and the guys work as hard as they work, is so, because you don't know what's going to take place in a game. That's a beautiful thing about our game of baseball. The opportunity presents itself, but you don't know when it's going to present or who's going to present it to. And I just have so much respect for this group, this clubhouse. This group that wants to show up and get after it and looks at the little things really, really with as much attention to detail as nothing's too small, is my point. And they're very intentional about wanting to be great and knowing that the little things matter, and everybody wants to do their part and be prepared for it. And like I say, I applaud them for having that mindset and that attention to detail and the positive attitude they bring to it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeff Jones, Dublin News Democrat.
Mike, we know the respect you have for the history of this organization, with the caveat that there's obviously a lot of ball in front of you. What does it feel like to do something that has not been done in the history of the St. Louis Cardinals?
You're right. I mean, we're moving on. What do we want to add to it? But to answer your question, Jeff, it's hard to do something in this organization that's never been done. As historic and rich with tradition and success this organization has, and for this group to be able to do something that nobody's done, and what I love about it speaks to the team aspect of it. It's a team And that's what this group is. It's a group that's, you know, one of the first things I always say is be together. You know, we're going to do this together, and everybody's got their part. And this group's dedicated to each other and deserves this opportunity to have this, you know, in the record books. But we're going to add to it. We can add to it.
All right, thanks, Skipper.